Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy the stories on my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Your support genuinely keeps me motivated to create more. Now let's dive into today's story. I can still hear the echo of his footsteps fading down the hallway, calm, steady, almost too composed. He walked away like I hadn't just dropped the final grenade on what was left of our relationship. That was the moment it hit me. I had lost a battle I never should have started. It all began harmlessly, or that's what I kept telling myself. Jason and I had been together nearly 3 years. We weren't a perfect match, but we complemented each other in a way that worked, most days. Lately, though, it felt like he barely saw me anymore. He worked late, forgot the little rituals we used to cherish, and stopped noticing the effort I put into anything. Maybe it sounds shallow, but going from being someone's priority to feeling like background noise does something to you. That was when I made the dumbest choice of my life. There was a guy at work, Liam. Tall, confident, charming, the type who always looked like he had something clever to say. He wasn't even my usual type, but he noticed me. Every day. He complimented my hair, remembered how I liked my coffee, smiled at me like I mattered. And that attention felt intoxicating. So I let myself drift toward it. At first it was subtle. Laughing a little louder when Jason was nearby and I was texting. Leaving my phone face up just long enough for him to see a message pop up with Liam's name. At a night out with friends, I let my hand linger on Liam's arm a moment too long. I wanted Jason to feel ignored. Replaced. The way I felt. But he didn't react. Not even a twitch. He never asked who Liam was. Never looked concerned. Never showed jealousy or even mild irritation. So I escalated. I started dressing up more. Tight outfits, striking makeup, heels way too high for errands. I stayed late at work with Liam, made sure he saw the texts come in, laughed loudly while Jason was in the next room. Still nothing. Made me crazy. Then one night, I came home wearing a dress I definitely hadn't worn to work. Jason was on the couch, half asleep with a book resting on his chest. I stood there practically begging him with my silence to question me, to demand answers. He just looked up, gave me a small smile and said, "Hey. You want something to eat?" I went to bed furious, at him and at myself. Why didn't he care? Was I really that easy to let go? Meanwhile, Liam soaked up every bit of attention I gave him. He said he felt a connection, that he liked being around me. And although I told myself I never crossed any physical lines emotionally, I was gone. 2 days later, I pushed things to the breaking point. I invited Liam to a party Jason and I were attending. Jason barely reacted when Liam arrived. But when Liam's hand lingered on my back, when he leaned in to whisper something in my ear, I finally saw Jason watching. This is it, I thought. He's finally going to say something. But instead, he walked over, looked straight at me and said quietly, "We're done, aren't we?" No yelling. No scene. No tears. I froze. "What are you talking about?" He gave a small, humorless laugh. "You really think I didn't notice? The distance, the games, the way you were trying to get a rise out of me?" I stayed quiet because I didn't want to be controlling or jealous. I thought maybe you'd come back on your own. But you didn't. You picked him. Then he turned around and left. I sat on our bed for hours that night, replaying every moment. Every little scheme to provoke him suddenly felt so childish. Jason wasn't cold or detached, he was hurt. Deeply. And he had enough respect for himself to walk away without turning it into a fight. Liam tried to comfort me afterward, believing he had somehow won. But the second I looked at him, I realized he had only ever been a distraction. Jason was the one who had always shown up, always been steady. I just didn't recognize the value of that until I destroyed it. I tried reaching out in the weeks that followed, messages, calls, even stopping by his place. He never answered. And I couldn't blame him. I didn't just break his heart, I humiliated it. A year passed. Then last month I saw him by chance in a bookstore. He looked good, lighter, content. And beside him was a girl. Not the type who needed dramatic makeup or flashy outfits. She had this peaceful, gentle energy about her. Jason leaned into her with ease, with warmth, the way he once did with me before I turned everything into a performance. He noticed me, gave a polite nod and went back to her. No anger. No resentment. Just calm acceptance. And that's what hurt the most. I froze there, holding a book I never intended to buy, realizing he wasn't angry because he didn't hold on to any of it anymore. He had healed. He had moved on. I was the only one still stuck in the ruins. I walked out without saying anything. I didn't want to disturb whatever peace he had found. When I got home, I broke down. Really broke down. Because reality finally settled in, he wasn't coming back. I had pushed him away trying to make him jealous, believing it would pull him closer. Instead, I pushed him right out of my life. And I became someone he could no longer respect. Jason wasn't perfect. He could be distant, forgetful, wrapped up in his own world sometimes. But he was loyal, steady, good. And I mistook stability for boredom. I confused routine for losing love. I wanted sparks and tension and drama, and I mistook that craving for a sign that something was wrong. What was wrong was me. I could have talked to him, told him I felt unseen, asked for more effort. Instead, I played a stupid game of emotional chicken and expected him to chase me. He didn't, because he had boundaries, and I crossed them. Liam and I fizzled out within weeks. Without the secretive thrill, there was nothing there. He liked the version of me that was reckless and flirtatious. That wasn't who I truly was. Months later, I started therapy. Not to get Jason back, though I still think about him sometimes, but to understand why I sabotaged something good for the sake of attention. I've written him letters I'll never send. What would I even say? I tried to provoke you and now I'm drowning in regret? He deserves peace. And he found it. I was the one who treated our love like a game. And once you turn love into a competition, you've already lost. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.